Hello people of the internet. I'm finally back with another video for this channel. I know, it's been a long time, so I sincerely apologize for that. It's just because I've been busy this summer with doing some work, and of course, having a lot of fun. So, gotta love that. If anyone out there that subscribes to this channel follows me on Twitter, you may have known that I installed the beta of iOS 7 on both my iPhone and my iPad mini. Since I've had the greater part of a few weeks now to test it out on both these devices, I decided why not make a first impressions video. I'm not going to do a full review quite yet because this is still beta software. Well, it's now in the later beta, or it's in the later part of the beta of the software, but still, it's a beta nonetheless, so I just don't want to give you guys my full impressions yet because it's not finalized. So, without further ado, I'm going to show you guys my first impressions. Okay, as I just said before, I just want to give you guys this disclaimer again. iOS 7 is still beta software, even though it's in the later part of the beta now. I believe they're on beta 6 now, since I updated both these devices to the latest beta a few days ago, I believe. So, just wanted to give you this disclaimer before I start anything, because some of these features are not finalized quite yet, and there's still a bit of bugs that have to be worked out. So, again, just want to get that out there before I start this first impressions. Okay, so first I'm going to give you a look of what iOS 7 looks like on an iPhone. Alright, so as you can see, there is a lock screen. Top stuff's going to be kind of hard to see because of the brightness. But as you can see up there, you know what, I'll just unlock it. Oh, actually, before I unlock it, oh, there we go. My auto brightness was just going weird. As you can see, not so sure if you can, there's this little white tab, or little white line here, and if you pull down, it'll reveal your notification center. Yes, that's right. You can finally access Notification Center from your lock screen. It's about time Apple implemented that. And as you can see, there's 3 different sections for the Notification Center now. Today, All, and Missed. And you can access them by either tapping on them or just scrolling left and right. And as you can see, I've got some apps updated. And there's, oh geez, sorry about that. There's now the ability to update apps automatically within iOS 7, so I'll show you guys that later too. So as you can see in the main Today section, it shows the current date as well as the current temperature and weather forecast. And then it shows other stuff like the calendar, and then what any events you have scheduled for tomorrow, if any. And there's also an option to have the stock ticker, but I don't care about that too much. I can just go online and check that anyway. And then, as you can see down here, there's another little tab. This is for something called the Control Center, which you can also access from a lock screen. But I'll show you that more later. So now I'm just going to show you the rest of iOS 7. Type in my passcode. Alright, so here is the main home screen. As you can see, if I can get this camcorder to focus. There we go. The main layout of the home screen doesn't look all too much different, well, with the exception of just these newly colored icons now. So, personally, I actually kind of like these new icons. They kind of make the Retina display pop more because these colors are a little more vibrant than the other ones were before in iOS 6 and previous builds. So, I'm actually a fan of these new icons. It kind of took me a little while to get used to them at first, but they've grown on me ever since. Alright, so first I'm going to show you messages. As Just gonna pull away in case anyone's contact information comes up. Oh, yeah, I'm okay. So as you can see, this is what a new text message thread looks like. And now I'll show you what it looks like on the main message screen. And yep, that's right. As you can see, you can now scroll back to a previous screen by just swiping from left to right from the left edge of the screen. So I think that's pretty cool, because before you just had to click, in order to go back, you had to actually click the word messages. Now you don't have to. So here's what it looks like to create a new message. I'm just going to put in a random number so I don't pull up anyone's contact information. I'll have to pull it away quick to do that. Alright, so as you can see, since it's a new message, or just a new text message, the number up there will display in green. And yeah, I think it was like that before. Then also down here, before, the send button was green when you're sending a text message to someone, but blue if you're sending an iMessage to another iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch, Mac, whatever. But now, as you can see, that button is just gray. And you still have the camera button there for sharing pictures with any contact. And then right below that is the new iOS 7 keyboard. And what I really like about this new keyboard is that it changes based on what app you're in. So, actually, I'll show you that quick right now. So I'll just lock my phone again. When I'm locking it, you get the same keyboard, but it's black. So I'll just enter my passcode quick again. But now if we go back to something like messages, it'll be like a white and silver color. So I think that's a pretty nice design cue. Alright, next I will show you calendar. So as you can see, it looks a lot different than it did before. Well, actually, yeah, here's the main view. Mine was on the current day view, but here's what it looks like in the month view. And if I click on that, it goes to day view, as you can see. And a really big change in a lot of Apple's native apps for iOS 7 is that they've done away with a lot of the details and made everything look a lot more simplified. So, as you can see on the icons here, on the calendar, we can get it to focus. There's no more spiral and any other things that make it look like a real calendar. Photos is just this color wheel now. Camera just is an icon that it actually shows the camera instead of just the lens. Stocks, it's just a minor change from that. And then the weather icon, before it just showed sunny and 73, now it's just a static icon with just clouds and the sun with a blue background. The maps icon doesn't change too much from iOS 6, so that's not too different. Notes is another big different icon, because as you can see, it's just the yellow and the white with the lines and no more spiral. iTunes Store and App Store, just minor changes. And same with phone, mail, and music. So now I'm going to actually go back to calendar and show you what the week view, or what the view looks like in landscape. So here's the week view, which you can access by just turning your phone into the landscape view, as you can see here. So that's pretty nice. Now I'll show you photos. And as you can see, you still have your albums as usual, like your camera roll, but now you also have a separate videos album. Before that was just grouped into camera roll. So I think it's pretty nice that you can just go into just your videos and you don't have to go hunting through your camera roll just to find videos. But now, as you can see, you have two different tabs down here. Your albums tab, which is just what the Photos app on iOS 6 and previous versions looked like before, and the Photos tab. And in here, you have a bevy of options for looking at photos. The first screen you have here is what's known as years. So as you can see, I have photos from 2011 to 2012, and then this year. And then also you can see there's all these various locations here where I've taken photos. So for example, if I click on 2013, it'll show all these dates, and it also show locations of where I've taken photos, even though I don't have location services turned on for the camera app. I guess it just compiles that from the data you give Facebook. And as you can see, if I showed you before, these things are called collections. So I think that's pretty cool, and it's a pretty unique way to look at all your photos. Pretty unique way to look at your photos without having to just go through your camera roll and create these albums yourself. So I think it's awesome that Apple has actually decided to implement that into their Photos app. So pretty cool. And speaking of photos, next I'm going to show you the new camera app. As you can see, things look drastically different here. No more changing between the camera and video down here. And so as you can see, there's no more change between the camera and video camera or recording here. Instead, it's been replaced with this filters button. So as you can see, for your filters, you have various options like mono, tonal, noir. Trying to look at these for your camera is kind of hard because can't focus too well. Fade, none, chrome, process, transfer, and instant. And as you can see, each of these filters gives you a real-time look of what that particular filter looks like without having to actually apply it. So that's pretty cool. Then as you can see up top here, we still have the same flash, HDR, and camera switching options, but they just look a little different for iOS 7. Then down here is where things get a little more different, because as you can see, I just showed you the filters button right here, which replaced the toggling between camera and video camera option. Now this is done up here. So as you can see, the main mode, or the default mode it comes up to when you open the camera app is photo. Then you also have video, which is nothing new, obviously. And as you can see, to change these between these modes, you just swipe your finger left or right. And here's another new mode, square. Kinda interesting. It just takes a photo and makes the aspect ratio a bit different. And then panorama, which is also nothing new because that was introduced in iOS 6. But it's accessed a bit differently. Before, you would have to go up here and click options, which is where the HDR would also be hidden. And you'd click panorama there if you had a iPhone 4S or 5, like I do. But now, it just has the HDR option up there. And it looks like the grid option's gone too, because I'm not seeing anywhere else where I'd be able to access that. And if you just click down here, you'll still be able to access your photos as usual. And one thing I really love about the new iOS 7 camera app, besides this whole new look and everything, is how freaking fast it takes photos. As you can see, it's pretty much instant. I don't know if that's going to transfer over to the final build of iOS 7, but if it does, you can count me in for using this camera app all the time, because things are just so much faster than they were before. Not to say the previous camera app on iOS 6 here on my iPhone 5 was slow, but it's nice to have things just be snappy. And you can delete those. And as you can see, so far for being in the late beta stages, things are getting much smoother. I'll show you what it's like taking a video. So here I am recording a video, just doing a random pan around the room here. So I'm going to end this now. So as you can see, the camera app is just a lot smoother, and I sure hope it's transferred into the final of the general public build of iOS 7. So I'm just going to show you it. So here I am recording a video, just doing a random pan around the room here. So I'm going to end this now. And there's some videoception for you guys. Hope you enjoyed that. And also, as you can see, when you exit and go into each app, there's a different transition than what there was before. Before like all your icons would just appear and everything, but now it'll just zoom into the app like that. I think that's pretty cool. So now I'm going to show you the new Stocks app, even though I don't use the Stocks app that much personally. Doesn't look too different, just a slightly different color scheme and everything. And here's the new weather app, which I really love. Yeah, I don't care about that. As you can see now, it has basically the same layout as the previous weather app did, but it has this new look to where it shows an animation of the current weather forecast in the background. I think this is really cool. And I think they basically just took a page out of HTC's book and incorporated that into this new weather app. Because if it's partly cloudy, as you can see, it'll just be clouds moving across the screen. Not terribly exciting. But if it's something like a thunderstorm, which I experienced just a couple days ago, the screen would be flashing with lightning and everything, and I just think that's so cool. Okay, so below the current temperature data, forecast, and location, you'll see the current or the high and low temperature for that day, in addition to your hourly forecast, which you could see before. But I think this is new too. I'd never remembered a previous weather app on iOS 6 showing the exact time of sunset, and yeah, that's pretty nice. Let's see how accurate that is. And then below that, you still have your typical forecast for the next few days. And yes, if you didn't know this already, the weather data is provided by Yahoo. Yahoo! Yeah. Alright, now I'm going to show you the new Maps app. Well, actually, this shouldn't be terribly different because this got changed in the previous version of iOS 6. It's just a slightly new look for your current location and entry for turn by turn. But other than that, it's not too different. Oh, also new compass up there. So other than that, just a new simplified look, and it's not too different from what there was before. Alright, here's the new Notes app. As you can see, no more notebook look. It's just all white and plain. So if you like that, then alright. Here's the iTunes Store. This doesn't look too different from what the current one is, but it just has a new color scheme with the main page and the tabs down here. Before it used to be black in the background, but now it seems like the general color scheme they have for all these apps is white and blue. Oh, and hold on, I'm actually going to turn on Wi-Fi quick because I'm getting close to my data limit. Alright, is it actually on? Let me just see. Made it turn over this way a little bit so I can actually pick up the network. Come on. Work with me. Made to move to a different spot. Oh, never mind. There it goes. It found it now. And there's a preview of some of the settings, so I'll get back to that in a little while. Alright, now App Store. This doesn't look too different either, but ooh, actually an update. I'll do that right now. I guess there's a new look. I'll have to check that out in a little bit. But as you can see, the App Store doesn't look terribly different either. just slightly different icons and color scheme. Oh, and also this is something brand new, the Apps Near Me feature, which I can't get to work yet. Yeah, no apps for a current location. Well, then again, I'm in a suburban area, so I don't know if that's the problem. But again, this is just a beta version of iOS 7, so some of these features are not finalized yet. Alright, so as you can see here now, after the Notes, iTunes, and App Store, I have all these folders. And if you couldn't tell already, all this stuff is all on one page now. You want to know why? Folders do not have a limit to how many apps you can place in them anymore. Freaking finally, Apple. It's about time you did that. So now I'm going to show you each of my folders. So as you can see, in this particular folder, which is for my games, if you couldn't tell already, has 9, 18, has 18 apps in it. Before, I would have had to have 2 folders because, stupidly, an app folder could only have, or a folder could only have 12 apps in it at a time, plus a little more on the iPad. But now, that limit is finally removed. Thank you, Apple. Then I have my utilities folder here. Oh, I'm actually going to show you the new calculator, clock, compass, and compass apps. So here's the new calculator. As you can see, the color scheme is basically the same, but now it just has a newer, flat look. Here's the new clock app. Basically just a change of color scheme and stuff. Oh, and also font change. So, pretty nice. And here's the new compass app. Okay, so I guess it calibrate it. Nah, I'll do that later. Oh, it's weird. I guess it has a different calibration thing now. Oh, hey, it's working. There we go. Nice. I really like the blacked out look for it. So, your basic compass shows your degree, direction, and actually your location and everything now. Wow. Contacts, I'm not going to show you that because I don't want to reveal people's numbers. FaceTime, which is actually a separate app now. So, it just has your contacts here, then you can just choose one and do FaceTime with them. Here's the new Passbook app. As you can see, just a different color scheme and everything, so overall functionality is I'm assuming it's going to be pretty much the same. The new Reminders app, well, it doesn't look terribly different from the previous one, just new fonts and everything. And ooh, here's an app that had a bunch of new changes. Safari. So as you can see, you have your bookmarks presented right on this first page. And there's new keyboard once again. So let's go to YouTube. Oh cool, it actually shows up in the top hits thing. So as you can see, just a simpler white look. Transitions are pretty fast. And as you can see down here, you still have your typical back, forward, and share buttons, which gives you the option to now do AirDrop, which is similar to what you have on OS X, with which you can share files and other things with people on other Macs around you. But now you can do the same thing, I'm assuming, with iPhones, iPads, and iPod Touches. Then you still have the same share buttons for Message, Mail, Twitter, and Facebook. Then you also have options down here to do bookmark, add to your reading list, add to home screen, copy, and print. And I believe, oh yep, that's bookmarks, reading list, and other things. Then down here is the tab button. And as you can see, you have a nice new preview for all your tabs now. So, pretty cool. And now, actually, yeah, I still have all this stuff. iBooks doesn't look too different. Newsstand really doesn't look too different. Well, oh, actually, it's a lot different, but I'll show you that on my iPad because I actually have a magazine on there. Ooh, videos. Nah. Doesn't look too different, just a overall new background and fonts and stuff. But here is the new Voice Memos app. Wow, this looks a lot different. Before, you actually had to switch between the recording screen and the memo screen to actually see your memos. But now, as you can see, it has the recording thing up here with this new meter and timeline and everything. Then below that, your recordings, if you had any. So, pretty cool. So that's it for that folder. Social, don't need to show you any of that stuff because it's basically the same. Nope. Okay, now I'll just go to settings. So as you can see here, more of that lighter background continuing into here. But now as you can see, all the settings icons have newer updated icons for iOS 7. So as you can see, they have their bright colors and everything. So I'll just show you a few things. So now, here's a new here's a big difference you'll notice right away for the settings app in your iPhone. The cellular settings are right on the first page. Before, you had to go to General and then Cellular, the cellular page would be in here. But now you can access it right there. But it has all the same settings. So, nothing too crazy there. Notification centers, basically the same. Ooh, but here's the control center settings. So, I'm just going to show you this right now. If you swipe up from the bottom of the screen, you'll get this thing called the control center, where you have options to toggle on or off airplane mode, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, do not disturb, and orientation lock. Then you have an option to change your brightness right there. The song is currently playing in addition to the pause, rewind, and fast forward buttons. And you can actually seek from right there too. And also on the lock screen now, which I think is pretty cool. Then down here you have your options for AirDrop and AirPlay. But obviously can't AirPlay to anything else because I don't have anything plugged in. Then down here you have shortcuts for flashlight, clock, calculator, and camera. And this is something I think is pretty cool. If you click the flashlight button, it'll just turn on the flash in your camera, and wow, that is super bright. So as you can see, that'll make a nice flashlight. And now it'll finally kill all these flashlight app developers. Wow, my camera was freaking out there. So, another cool thing is, if you lock your iPhone, that light will still be on until you turn it off from Control Center. So, very handy flashlight right there. And as you can see, for the Control Center settings here, you have the ability to access on the lock screen, which I obviously keep on, and access limited apps. And if you're a huge gamer and you don't want to have this thing annoying you when you're playing a game that requires you to swipe up from the bottom of the screen, you can turn this off. And as you can see, I can't access the Control Center in here anymore. So now if I turn it back on, I can access it again. Do not disturb settings, pretty much the same. Under general, there's some new stuff here. As you can see, still have the Siri stuff. Oh, whoops. All that stuff pretty much looks the same, just a different arrangement and everything. But now there's this new option for background app refresh. So as you can see here, if you have that turned on, you can allow apps to refresh their content when on Wi-Fi or cellular, or use location services in the background. And if you can turn it off you can turn off certain apps to preserve battery life. So as you can see, there's just a certain amount of apps that do that right now. and it's mainly ones, as you can see here, that use geofences, which obviously track your location in the background, which is helpful for stuff like reminders, and also this taxi magic app, which allows you to see where your cab is, which is pretty nice. But other than that, things don't look too different there. Let's see if there's anything new under accessibility. This is a cool one I discovered a little while after installing iOS 7. Phone noise cancellation. And if you have it turned on, it'll reduce ambient noise on phone calls when you're holding the receiver to your ear. So that's pretty nice. Nothing too exciting. Just all your basic accessibility stuff. Let's see, what else is there? Stuff doesn't look too different in settings. Oh, another thing I forgot to show. Something else I forgot to show you. The new Game Center. As you can see, no more green casino felt table, or no more green felt casino table. Excuse me. Now there's just this what. Now this icon just has a white background and all these bubbles. And here's the new look. As you can see, it's drastically different. Wow, cool transitions there. So, as you can see, just an overall new look. Basically the same functionality, but with just new transitions. So now I'll show you the phone app. I'm not going to click on a contact because I don't want to show anyone's information. But as you can see, basically the same functionality and look. Favorites, recents. Oh, I don't want to show numbers there. The keypad, which looks drastically different. Oh, cool. I like how it lights up like that. And this is also the same keypad you'll see on your lock screen if you have a simple passcode. But I don't, since I turned that option off. Then your visual voicemail, pretty much the same, except it doesn't have the play controls down here. That stuff. Actually, it doesn't have the delete buttons and stuff down there, excuse me. They'll just show up there if you have that. New mail app. As you can see, just basically a new look. Overall functionality is pretty much the same. And finally, here is the new music app. This is where things get a lot different. As you can see now, the playback controls are now down here, as opposed to... Wait, actually, yeah, they're still down there. Actually, the things that have changed is that the seeking controls are down here instead of up there, as well as the song information. And the controls for repeat, creating a playlist, and shuffle. And as you can see also, if you turn your iPhone like this, no more cover flow, just a grid view of all your album covers. And if you go back, here's what for example, the songs list looks like. Pretty much the same, but with just new fonts and colors. And now as you can see down here, for your tabs you still have your same Genius, Playlist, Artists, and then more. And also, there's something called iTunes Radio, which is basically just the same thing as Pandora. You can just type in the artist, song name, or genre, and it'll automatically generate a playlist of songs. I haven't tried it out yet, but I'll give you guys an official little review of that once I've tried it out myself. So as you can see here, you can just click Start Listening or Learn More, and then it just basically works like Pandora. And if you don't have an iTunes Match account, you'll have to deal with ads every once in a while when you're listening to iTunes Radio. But personally, I don't think that's a big deal because it's only every couple songs I would assume that have ads. So, pretty cool new music app, I think. So now I'll just show you some some of those things on my iPad mini. I won't go too in depth with my iPad mini because it's just a bigger screen. Oop, I gotta rotate that. And here's the new look for the notification center on the iPad. Finally now, it's a full screen notification center for the iPad. So, thank you for that, Apple. And here's what the control center looks like. As you can see, it's just across the bottom of the screen for the iPad. So, there you go. And here's the home screen for the iPad mini on iOS 7. As you can see, pretty much the same stuff I showed you on my iPhone. So, I'm not going to go in depth with any of the stuff on here, really. So, yeah. Oh, also another cool thing. Not sure if I'll really be able to show this in the video. But if you move your device up and down and side to side, the picture or your background image kind of creates a little, it has a little 3D effect. Like, you know, those little holographic images like you get on baseball cards and stuff. Basically, that you now have that effect with your background on your iDevice, which is pretty darn cool. So, I'm just going to go show you some of this stuff. It's kind of hard to do with one-handed, so let's put it down. As you can see, pretty much the same look and feel, but with just newer colors and stuff. So, I'm not going to go in depth. So as you can see, the settings and stuff here have pretty much the same layout. So I'm not going to bore you guys and show you all that stuff. But as you can see here, I have iOS 7 running on both these devices. And thus far, I've been pretty darn happy with that. And as you can see, for beta, things have gotten a lot smoother. With this particular beta update I have, there's really not too many things in the way of new features. It's just basically bug fixes and enhancements. So, again, so far, I've pretty much been enjoying iOS 7. I can't wait for the final version to come out so I can see what everything will be like. But overall, I'm very glad I got the beta installed on both my devices so I can brag to my friends that I got iOS 7 before everyone else. So, with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this first look of iOS 7 on my iPad mini and iPhone 5. So, if you enjoyed this video, as usual, be sure to give it a like. I really appreciate that. Also, be sure to comment below with your thoughts on iOS 7 beta if you haven't installed on any of your iDevices. I'd really like to hear your guys' thoughts because, again, so far, I'm loving it. Not a sponsor. So, I just want to see your guys' thoughts of iOS 7 so far. Also, I say this in every video as usual. Please subscribe to my channel. It just really means a lot if you subscribe to my channel. That means you enjoy my videos, and I'd love you guys to just do that, and be sure to tell others about my channel so they can see my content and see any of my new content and videos before they go live, or when they go live. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Alright, I've been jabbering on for a pretty long time now, so I'm going to finally end this video. So, all I've left to say now is peace.